Come, let us explore refuge and magical thinking. First thing I'm going to do is make sure the mic's working. Cowabunga. All right. Sturgeon's Law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks. Well, what could that suckiness look like? Since the Neolithic Revolution, the majority of societies have been training or conditioning the majority of their denizens to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. And that is the dynamo that drives patriarchy. A slender minority have always striven or strove to be, instead, to be flexible, loving, rational, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. When we are rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel, we are extraordinarily childish. And when we experience even the smallest amount of stress, we tend to reach towards a parent, either a literal parent or a parental figure, either a real or imagined celestial parent. And that can shape our spirituality. When we are driven by the strong winds, when the boat of our spiritual practice is driven by the strong winds of our controlling tendencies to control what desires come to us and what dreads depart us, it fuels the fire of our magical thinking. However, when we are spiritual, when we replace the tyranny of our controlling tendencies, instead by being characteristically laid back, then we are more accepting of what befalls us, good, bad, or indifferent. Quick aside, that doesn't make us doormats. The more we spend correctly practicing mindfulness and meditation, the more we will notice that our choices, utterances, and deeds flow from the centered spontaneity that is the product of love. Love's centered spontaneity must not be confused with the scattered spontaneity one might experience after 4 consecutive espressos. So it's in light of a healthy practice, of a productive practice of mindfulness and meditation, it is therefore safe to be laid back and rational and loving and flexible. But for the vast majority who have no interest in any type of spiritual practice, no less a healthy one, they will keep falling back into magical thinking. We see that in the traditional practice of taking refuge. If you've ever gone to a Zen center, if you've ever gone to a Theravadan temple, one of the many chants you will hear is a chant of refuge. There are many people who have been taught that if you utter the Sanskrit phrase, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, it is somehow a magical spell that purifies all your bad karma, protects you from bad things, increases your wisdom and good fortune, and draws good things to you. That is not what the Buddha taught. The Buddha was against ritual. He was against magical thinking. It was all about surrender. So instead of viewing the taking of refuge through the lens of magical thinking, let us view it through the lens of rational thought. So, in this morning's practice text, first we perform a recitation of loving intention, which we explored in great detail during the last live stream. In our compassion, may we long to free all beings, choices, utterances, and deeds from being dominated by the survival impulses of hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. So that is a lovely, lovely wish. And one doesn't have to sit with that wish very long to realize that in and of ourselves, conventionally, thinking we are woefully unprepared for this task, and so we might seek help. So those who are committed to magical thinking will say, I will reach out to three magical entities that I refer to as Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I will use the magic word Nama, and all of a sudden I will become a spiritual superhero. I will become like Neo in the Matrix, in the final reel of the Matrix, and do all this amazing stuff. Now, let us look at it rationally. In our pragmatism, may our liberation of others be fueled by our reliance, on the magical entity? No. On three things. The Buddha's example, which, whether the Buddha was real or merely archetypical, the example is poignant, of an individual born into power and prestige and wealth, who had every debaucherous thing he could want and turned away from it because he wanted something even better than 101 erotic nights. What he wanted was liberation from the tyranny of that which seems to suck the joy out of life. We also help others by relying on the Buddha's instructions. The essence of enlightenment is simply mastery of the Buddha's eightfold path. Understand the path, apply the path, and you can experience liberation, not from the presence of our darker survival impulses, but from their tyranny. And that is the freedom that the Buddha offers. We also rely upon the Buddha's students. So since the Buddha, whether he was real or imagined, walked this earth many, many, many centuries ago, we can rely on people who claim to be practicing the Buddha's teachings. How do we know if they are worthy? We don't, but there's a simple test. Here it is. Receive an entry-level teaching from someone who claims to be a meditation teacher. Play with that technique about once every 12 hours for 7 consecutive days. At the end of the 7th day, do a self-assessment. Do you feel more anxious or more peaceful? Do you feel more cranky or more loving? If you feel more anxious and cranky, then either that technique the teacher gave you isn't quite for you, or that teacher isn't as beneficial for you as you would like. Go find a better teacher. However, if after 7 days of applying the technique once every 12 hours, you are more peaceful and you are more loving, then you found a teacher that, at least for the interim, at least for the short while, may be beneficial to you. So this is not about blind faith. This is about the results of an informal experiment done in the laboratory of our own body and mind. There are many members of patriarchy who would say, no, you can't do that. You have to rely on someone's resume and credentials and letters of recommendation. But that just creates some sort of a circle jerk, where you trust A because of B, and you trust B because of C, and you trust C because of D, and you trust D because of E, and you trust F because of A. Well, that may be useful if you're a member of patriarchy and you want to stay in power. But if someone is really looking for something transformative, that's a dead end. So this idea of the Buddha's example and the Buddha's instructions and the Buddha's students is described by the metaphor of the 3 wish-fulfilling jewels. When I was a little boy, I got to listen to Aladdin and the Lamp. And I learned about that he rubbed the lamp and out came a genie, and the genie gave him 3 wishes. Well, in ancient India, instead of rubbing a lamp, they would have a jewel. And it was the fable of a magical jewel that would grant wishes. So this is seen not literally, but figuratively. So figuratively, if what we wish is to accomplish what the Buddha accomplished, then if we rely on his example, if we apply his teachings, if we rely upon his students, then that could act kind of like a wish-fulfilling jewel. However, people who are into magical thinking will say, no, it is a literal wish-fulfilling jewel, and I can work magic with it. I was one of those idiots. When I first stumbled upon Buddhism, I wanted to do magic. I wanted to do the Jedi mind trick. I wanted to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. I wanted to be Alec Guinness. I wanted to tell the stormtroopers, no, these are not the droids you were looking for. But trial and error over multiple decades have shown me the error of that original worldview. And so we conclude this morning's opening lesson. It is Rey Skywalker's Sunday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friend, to meditate like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. So together as a team, let's chant. I guess before I do that, I should do some additional housekeeping and delete these teaching aids. Okay. Together. In our compassion, may we long to free all beings' choices, utterances from being dominated by the survival impulses of hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the 3 mental poisons. In our pragmatism, you gotta make sure everything's copacetic. Cowabunga. In our pragmatism, may our liberation of all others be fueled by our reliance on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students described by the metaphor of the 3 wish-fulfilling jewels. Now let us blend the concise recitation of these 2 wishes with Tibetan calisthenics. all through the three jewels. May we free all through the three jewels. May we free all through the three jewels. Whew. That was exciting. That'll wake you up first thing in the morning. Just as in junior high school, where our gym teacher would instruct us to first warm up before the main event, then cool down before we hit the showers. We're going to start off, we're going to warm up with Maha Yoga's wisdom warm-up. We'll then play with both Ana Yoga's energy work as well as Ati Yoga's mindfulness and meditation. And then we will conclude with Maha Yoga's compassionate cool down. Welcome to this morning's live stream. The moment you have a specific question, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. I just had a dreadful thought. I want to make sure the microphone's working when I hit button 4. And it appears to. Fabulous. So let us begin. Before we play with this morning's first 4 mantra meditations, let's review the meaning of Shakyamuni's mantra. With whom we invoke the archetype of the Muni, wise one, Maha greatly wise one, Muni, A of the Shakya, Soha, wishing enlightenment for all. This following 2 pages of chants helps us to, like a cat with his head stuck in an empty bag of Doritos, this helps us to backpedal out of the dangerous preconceptions given to us by patriarchy. Rather than indulge or controlling tendencies with all volleys of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these wise words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors or statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. So we're going to play with a series of 4 metaphors that are explained as similes for the sake of clarity. What these four figures of speech have in common is the wisdom of letting go. Together as a team, let us gingerly touch the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left little finger, and then rest this left hand upon our left thigh, thus gently inviting our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Please chant with me. All circumstances or thoughts appearing it as void as a real or imagined paradise of light could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. We take all these words and allow them to coalesce into 6 syllables that summarize what we just chanted. We could recite these 6 syllables. We could divide these 6 syllables between our inhalation and our exhalation. And now it's time for mantra meditation. During our inhalation, we can recite silently and mentally recite all 6 syllables of the synopsis. During our exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can, while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 3 times per breath for 4 breaths. Here's a quick pro tip. Count 1 breath per finger and 1 mantra per set of creases. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Let us gently touch the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left ring finger and rest this left hand upon our left thigh, thus gently inviting our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. Together. All bodies or from sensual, yet as what is a Buddha's real or imagined archetype of light could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communicational speech. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa 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 Let us gingerly touch the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left middle finger, and rest our left hand upon our left thigh, thus gently inviting our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the heart region of our chest. All interpersonal speech resounding yet as void as a real or imagined mantra of light could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa. Let's gently touch the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left index finger and rest our left hand upon our left thigh, thus gently inviting the real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the crown region of our head. Please chant with me. All minds lucid, yet as void as a real or imagined Jigme of light could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. Now we heard the word emptiness a lot. What does that mean? Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although tantalizing to the eye could be not graspable to the hand. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa. We switch gears now. Now it's time for Hatha Yoga's mindfulness and meditation. Welcome to the first quarter of Mindful Crease Counting Meditation. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Multiply this by 4, and you get 48. We can count our 4 sets upon our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 12 inhalations each. Ah, yes. Since we can keep track of this, our first quarter, by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger, palms up in our lap. And again, doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the crown region of our head. The most efficient way to practice mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation. Doing so helps us to cooperate with our sympathetic nervous system, which has evolved to help us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. What do we do with all that which we noticed? We meditate. And the most efficient way to do that is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation, causing us to better cooperate with our parasympathetic nervous system, which has evolved to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release, helping us to soul release what we noticed during our previous inhalation, that what we noticed could fleetingly feel less tantalizing, less permanent, and even less defining. So in light of the importance of mindfulness and meditation, let us practice together right now. Good morning and welcome to the second quarter of Mindful Crease Counting Meditation. Over the span of 12 breaths, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Multiply that by 4 sets and you've got 48. We could keep track of those 4 sets on our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 12 inhalations each. To keep track of this, our second quarter, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger, upon the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the heart region of our chest. If you're just tuning in, allow me to catch you up to speed. The most efficient way to practice mindfulness is not to concentrate. Au contraire, simply silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, and that will help us to better cooperate with our sympathetic nervous system, which is already wired to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. But notice what? Notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. But what do we do with all that which we notice? We meditate, and the most efficient way to do that is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, helping us to better cooperate with our parasympathetic nervous system, which has evolved to support both physical relaxation as well as the mental release that can help us to let go of what we noticed during our previous inhalation, to the point that what we noticed could feel as if it was as non-graspable as a vast empty void, as if it was as non-graspable as the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could be tantalizing to the eye, is non-graspable to the hand. Let's practice. Welcome to the third quarter of Mindful Crease Counting Meditation. We could keep track of this third quarter by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger, upon the tip of our left ring finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite the real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. Welcome to the final quarter of this early morning's mindful crease counting meditation. To keep track of this fourth quarter, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Let us now shift gears from silent meditation to mantra meditation. Before we do so, it could be helpful to review the meaning of the mantra that we're going to be playing with. The mantra of the archetype known as Shakyamuni. Together. With whom we invoke the archetype of the Muni, wise one, Maha, greatly wise one, Muni, yea, of their Shakya, Soha, wishing enlightenment for all. Let's make sure this fits on the screen, okay? Fabulous. During our inhalation, silently and mentally, we could recite relaxing into this. But what is this? This is whatever we notice, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. This could be a sight, a sound, a sensation, a flavor, a scent, or the like. This could be an emotion, an intention, a thought, a memory, or an imagining. We can notice the external or the internal, the physical or the mental, the pleasurable or the painful, the interesting or the boring, the glorious or the grotesque. What do we do with that which we notice? During our exhalation, we physically relax whilst as best we can, while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 3 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Now here's a quick pro tip. Count, let's see if I got this straight here. Okay. Count 1 breath per finger, 1 repetition per set of creases. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa. 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 Thus far, we have practiced Mahayoga's wisdom warm-up, Anu Yoga's energy work, as well as Hatha Yoga's mindfulness meditation. And now it's time for Mahayoga's compassionate cool down, also known as mantra-oriented loving kindness. Let us sidestep the chains of patriarchy and its preconceptions by chanting the next 2 pages. Rather than adult or controlling tendencies with the follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these kind words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses mental force for statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. Please touch the tip of your, let us gently touch the tip of our left thumb into the tip of our little finger, and then rest this left hand upon our left thigh. That we might gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Together. May all minds of all beings know me as peacefully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha symbolized by a Jigme one syllable zero bija mantra. We now take all these words and allow them to coalesce or into a 6-syllable synopsis that we chant, or that we silently and mentally recite, that we divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa. May everyone possess the wisdom not to be hateful, not to be sexist or racist or homophobic or transphobic or Islamophobic. Excuse me. May everyone possess the wisdom not to be racist or exploitive or fascist or jingoistic or genocidal, directly or indirectly. Let's continue. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa. Let us gently touch the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left ring finger, and then rest our left hand upon our left thigh, that we might gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the navel wheel of our mid-abdomen. Together. May your relationships or speech of all beings know me as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddha speech symbolized by a multisyllabic mantra. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa. Let's gently touch the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left middle finger, and then rest our left hand upon our left thigh, thus gently inviting the real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the heart region of our chest. Together. May all bodies or forms of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health represented by Buddha's statuary, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined Dhamma archetype of enlightenment such as Shakyamuni. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Sawa. 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 Let's gently touch the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left index finger and rest this left hand upon our left thigh, thus gently inviting our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the crown region of our head. Together let us chant. May all circumstances or lots of all beings now have the safe fortune or boon. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise pure land of Vanti. May all circumstances, let's try this again. May all circumstances or lots of all beings now have the safety and good fortune or boon. As a boon is real or imagined paradise pure land of Vanti. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Sawa. 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 You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 3 hours or so, I would very much like to return to lead today's mid-morning meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, May the force be with you always.